Okay. So yeah, somebody said, right? So example of black box testing. Okay. So example. So this is actually, as I told you, it's combination of more than one testing. Okay. Combination of more than one testing. That means if you're doing functional testing, you have to do, let's say, system testing. Okay. System testing. So all these 2-3 testing combined to form a black box testing. There's no specific black box. Let's say you're doing this. So that's the thing, right? You have to understand the first term. It's a high-level testing. That means it's done high level, not just why individual level. If there's a tester, that's the question. Your boss will ask you: have you completed your block box testing? Okay, that's the thing I asked you, right? First thing. So what you want to make understand your boss that black box testing is a high level testing which is done at the team level. That means 2 people, one people has done functional testing, the other people has done system testing. Yes, so black box testing is done. Does it make sense? The reason, because you need more than 1, 2, 3 people to do this testing. Okay, so yeah, we'll go to that. Okay, we'll go to system testing. There is a lot of testing. Just somebody asked the question, right? So that's what I wanted to. Okay. So similarly, we have this white box testing. It's not like individual level. Just one guy is doing, the second guy. So it's like 3-4 people. That's the reason this is more appropriate for a lead, because they will be having knowledge on this, saying that okay, this guy has done this. This guy has completed this function. This guy has completed this performance. Okay, this guy has completed integration. So yes, so we have completed black box. Okay. So that's how you want to understand it. Any more questions on that? So we'll be running late, so we'll take like 15 minutes, okay? So if anyone have any issues, let me know. Okay. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Unit testing, okay? Now unit testing is like, and again, this is the job of a programmer and not by the testers, okay? Why? Because it requires detailed knowledge of internal program design, okay? If you have to know internal program, okay? So let's see here. Let's see if even developer has to do this. Now this is the unit testing. Now this is one guy does it, okay? So now that's easy. Now what happens is if they have to do this some unit testing on this, let's say they'll go to here, this particular unit, right? That means some particular module, okay? Some particular module, one module, they'll be doing that particular testing here. Okay, this is the code and this is what you have to do, and they'll change the code. If anything is missing, semicolon is missing, they'll change the semicolon. Okay, if anything, so that is called unit testing.
Hi Manu, I have a question about white box testing and unit testing. What is the difference between? You said white box testing is also about the testing about the code, right? Inside and unit also the same thing. So what is the difference between both testing?
It's a combination of many other testing. It's not just one, just many.
No, I mean you said white box testing. It's a DBA done, right? It's done by the DBA, and inside the code, they are testing coding. In unit.
Hey, white box testing is not done by the DBA. DBA is database administrator. Okay, database administrator is a different job altogether. Okay, so it's a programmer. Right. Okay, you have to be a little specific here because things get a little bit different if you are, taking too many people here. Okay, so yeah, now you can go ahead. Yeah, so white box testing, yeah, you can go ahead. Okay, so white box testing is a high level testing. Okay, again, it's more than one testing. Okay, and it's again, don't take it as DBA. I never said DBA. Okay, it's a programmer because database administrator is completely a whole job altogether. nothing to do with programmers, nothing to do with testers. That's a whole world altogether. We are not going there. Okay, we are just sticking to our testing perspective here. Okay. Okay. So now the programmer, what it happens is, they will looking, into internal logic. Okay, so this is more than one testing. Okay, white box testing is more than one testing. Unit testing is a part in a white box system. So that's the reason I said, right, it's a high level testing. Okay, whenever I say high level testing, that means it should be more than one. Okay, more than one, or it's not really understandable at the document level. You have to go into more detail to get more understanding on this. That's what it means by high level. Okay, that means not easily understandable at that point. Does it make sense? So white box testing is not unit testing. It has one of the testing is unit testing, but it's not really unit testing. Again, don't involve DBA, please. That's a whole world altogether. Okay. Okay. Any more questions? Okay. So we'll move forward. Okay. So we were talking about this unit testing. Here unit testing, again, it's done by the programmers. Okay. And here this is unit. Unit means single module. Okay. That's what unit means, right? Single module. So here. Okay, here if you see here, this is an example. I'm just giving an example. This really not happens. This is a production, production code, and really nobody does in production. Okay, just give you an example to, for you to understand here. Unit means there are so many here, right? There's a lot of things here. This can have a lot of things. Okay, it has JavaScript. Okay, this has Java. It has HTML. All this is done in the HTML. Okay, and a lot of things. It might also even have Ajax, if you're playing the videos, a lot of codes are there here. And it's not really necessary that all the code is done by one guy. It's really a lot of people who might be working on, a lot of developers, Ajax developer, Java developer, JavaScript, and a lot of people will be working here. So don't expect that all this one is done by one guy. Okay, it can be, but not always. Okay. So let's say if his job is JavaScript, then he'll go to this particular module of this JavaScript and modify this. So that's called unit testing. Okay. So here testing of individual software.
Manu, this is. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Manu?
Yes.
Okay, Manu. I want you to go a little slow. There are, candidates sitting in the class. They are saying that they are not able to follow you because the way you speak is very, very faster. That means they are not able to follow you. What even each word also they are having, difficulties to, understand. So can you go a little bit slow? I was trying to reach you, but I couldn't get to you.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Don't talk faster. Go slow.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, and then it will require more than time. Like it will go over 12. It's okay because it will go to 12 p.m. more than 12 p.m. If it's okay, that's I'm fine with that. Okay.
Just tell me one more time. What did you say? I was not able to understand.
Yeah. So it will take more than 12, more than 1 hour. Is it okay? So.
Listen, you can actually number of days you can extend. That's not a problem. But I want you to go slow because the candidates are not able to follow you a word you are saying. And me neither. I'm not able to follow you. Many times I'm not able to follow you.
Okay, sure. Okay, so in unit testing, so so one module, right? It's only this taken as one module. Let's take in here. So again, there will be a lot of people, will be working on them one application. Okay, there will be Java developer, there will be JavaScript, okay, and HTML developer, okay, and a lot of people will be working on. So all this code is combination of a lot of people. Okay, one people can do it, but most of the time it will be a lot of people. So here what happens is in unit testing, let's say that one developer who was actually working on it, right? We'll go into a particular module, which is, let's say, script. Okay, it's JavaScript, so it's his work. So he will be doing his own testing here. He goes to a particular module, looks into that, and see what the testing is. Okay, so that's unit testing. Any questions? Okay. So let's go to the next then. So unit testing, again, unit testing is done by these programmers and not by the testers. Why? Because you need to know detailed knowledge of program design and the code. And where's the code? This is the code. Now this is a production code, it's a different thing. Dev people will be working on dev environment. So we'll go to this various environments and see what this is how they will be working on. Any questions? Okay.
Hi,
So,
Manu.
yes.
So these all testing, unit testing, black box, white box. So the testers won't do the testing. The programmer will be doing all this.
Programmer will be doing their own testing. Okay, it's not related to testers. Testers will be doing their own testing. Two different things. Okay, if programmer is doing testing, they will be doing on the code perspective. What's the code? And they'll be testing on the code. And if QA or testers will be doing, then will be in an application perspective. Does it make sense? Any more questions? Does it make sense? Okay. Any more questions?
I think we are still not able to find the main difference between all these black box, white box, and unit testing.
See, black box testing is a high-level testing. Okay, you don't have to differentiate. There's nothing to differentiate. The only differentiate is to black box and white box. Black box is done by the tester. White box is done by the programmers. Okay, that's the only differentiate. And again, you know why testers? Because this is combination of more than 2-3 testings. That's why it's called black box. Okay, why white box? Because combination of 2-3 developer testing, what developer is trying to do, right? Like unit testing or SIT testing. That's called white box. Okay, this is white box is completely related to developer. Black box is completely related to tester.
Okay.
Okay, and it's a high level. It's a high level. That means it constitutes high level. Whenever I say high level, that means it requires more information to move forward with that particular testing. Okay, it require more information like why it's high level. There's do you have sub modules, or do we need to proceed with that with other dependency, or we have to take approval and all those things. So that's what I mean by high level. It's more dependent on other things. Any more questions? Okay, so can we move forward if no questions? Okay, so now unit testing. Okay, so again, unit testing is, now we have already gone through it. An example is here, this is an example, particular unit of that, this code. This is a code, right? This is a code script, and this is the code. A particular unit on this is called unit testing. And this is done by the programmers and not by the testers. Why? Because you need to require detailed knowledge on this internal program design code. Any questions in this unit testing?
So the unit testing is the testing done for the individual coding that are in the in any like software,
Right. It's done on
like
individual. Yeah.
individual section of coding, like different, because there are so many kind of coding inside that whole page.
Right. So in that case, this is some particular one module, because if you see, there's a lot of modules, right? This is one module. This is one module. If you take it, this is an example. Okay, this is for your understanding. Okay, this is module. This module. And any arrowhead, that's modules. Okay. Now this is one particular module in this, so this will be considered as unit testing because you are considering only one module in the whole script. It's called unit testing. Does it make sense?
Okay, and these are done by the developers, not the testers.
Right.
Okay. So basically, in this coding job, like this part here, all different people will be working. Different people can work on different parts, right?
Right. So this code can be generated by a lot of people, not just one or two guys. I mean, one guy can do it, but if you see here, there's a lot of things, right? There's a script, there can be, Ajax, there can be, you know, um, JavaScript, there can be, lot of other things. So that's the reason you have many other developers working on the same thing.
Okay. So one question, are they able to work on all these different part at the same time or no?
Yes, they will be working parallelly. Okay, everyone will be doing their own.
Um,
They will be working in the parallelly. There's nothing to wait for anyone.
oh, okay.
Okay, any more questions? Okay, so let's move to the next. Let's talk about this functional testing. Okay, now before going to anyone, we're going to talk about this functional testing. Now this is you'll see here this black box testing. That means this is included in that box. Okay, okay. Now this functional testing is to test any functionality and features of an application. Okay, functionality and features of an application. That means, again, I told you, right, what the functionalities, it can be anything. It can be images, edit box, text box, buttons, drop down buttons, radio buttons. Okay, whole this, whatever you see this, okay, not this, the whole page, you see this, so whatever buttons you see, whatever boxes you see is images, all this is functional. Functional, okay, it's functionality and features. Okay, okay, so let's go to more advanced here. Let's go to Amazon.com. Okay, Google was pretty simple. Okay, here is now this becomes a little more tricky here. Now this is too much functional testing. Why? Because if you see this images, this is the images, right? This is the images. These images is actually integrated with URLs. Okay. And what I mean? What I mean is when I click on this, you see this, the whole URL gets changed and the page is navigated to that particular object. Right? And this image is integrated with URL. So this is a little bit tricky here because all this, now this is another functionality. See this quick look, now this is another functionality. If you click here, let's just take a quick look. It's pop-up window. Now this is a pop-up, this kind of pop-up window. Okay, pop-up window, or you can say dialog box. No, this pop-up window is good. Pop-up window. Okay, this shows up and see what you want. Is this buttons working? Is the image showing good? Now these are the functionalities. To test all this is called functional testing. Any questions?
Hi, Manu. Can you repeat that one more time? I lost my connection just right now, so.
So here what I'm talking about is functional testing. Okay, functional testing is to test functionality and features of an application. So here most of the time we are talking about this web application. Okay, this is a web application. Why? Because we are accessing everything in browser. And this is a browser, right? This is Google Chrome, and we are browsing here. So this is called web application. Okay, so here whatever you see here, this is a little bit more tricky here. Okay, if you click on this, let's say click on this, this gets navigated to the whole new page. You see this URL, the URL is changed. That means the object, the image is integrated with URL. That's the reason whenever you click this, you're getting a different page. Okay, now all this kind of testing is called functional testing. Again, you have to test even this. Okay, this box is working. This drop down box, this is a drop down box. Okay, this is working. This search bar, is it working or not? Okay, so that kind of testing is called functional testing. Any questions?
So it's this is pretty much similar to the black box testing.
No, this is called functional testing. Okay, so black box testing is high level testing. Okay, when I say high level, that means you need more information to do whatever you want. Okay, if you want, for saying high level, that means it requires more information. Now, black box has 2-3 testings in it, like functional testing, like system testing, okay, like end-to-end testing. Now, all these 2-3 testings combine to form as black box testing. Now, black box testing is not related to individual level; it's a team effort. It's a black box testing is a team effort. Okay, that's what it is.
Okay.
Okay, you want to understand what's high level, and then maybe if you try to understand this high level, if I say high level, then you want to understand if it involves a lot of people, a lot of team members. That's how it is. Any questions? Okay, so if no one has questions, then I have a question. So let's see here. Now, I want to do functional testing. Okay. Now, I'm hovering my mouse over this department section. Okay, you see this department section? I'm just hovering my mouse. I'm not clicking anything here. Okay. I'm not worried about clicking anything, any buttons here. I'm not worried about it. Let's just hover a mouse. Okay. Okay. I'm just hovering my mouse and let's see what's happening. So, can anyone tell what's happening here?
Yes, the color has changed for the department um, drop down menu compared to the background. So yeah, in order to focus, the department section, the color behind at the background has become dim.
Okay, great. So that's the answer I was looking for. So the brightness of the screen has dimmed, right? So whenever you hover your mouse here, you see the brightness of the screen is dimmed. Why? Because that can be a requirement and that might be your testing perspective too. Okay, you also want to make sure that it's tested or not. Because business, so this is a business requirement. That can be a business requirement saying that whenever you hover your mouse over any of this, okay, the departments or here orders, okay, all this, right? Whenever you're hovering this mouse, the background brightness gets dimmed. The reason because they want to see here that this is you can see properly here. If the brightness is too high, you may not able to see this. Okay, that might be one of the reasons. So that's not the point. The point is to test. Okay, are you able to test? This is the requirement. Nobody told you that. That's not a documented. Nobody will tell you. Okay. So is this a requirement and you have to test is it as per the requirement or not? Okay. So that's also a functionality. So that's what I mean is this is also a functionality in an application. That's just an example. Just give an example. Any questions? Okay. Okay, so let's move to the next one. So that's the functional testing, okay? To test functionality and features of an application, okay, is called functional testing. And what are the functional features? There are many, okay? Edit box, text box, drop down buttons, radio buttons, images, URLs, so on. Okay, those are the functional features. Okay, so let's go to the next one. So does everyone understand what the functional testing?
Hi, Manu. So in the functional testing, where it says black box type testing geared to functional requirements of an application. So does the application here means the website that we just talked about?
I'm sorry, what?
So in the functional testing on the last line, it says black box type testing geared to functional requirements of an application. So can you give an example of an application? Is it the website, the web browser that we just talked about? Is that the application? That
This is a web application.
okay. Did we talk about integration?
Okay. Yeah, I was just waiting if anyone have any more questions. Okay, so okay, so let's go to integration testing. Okay, so integration testing is what happens is, okay, as I told you, right, there are too many developers, right? There are too many developers that are working on an application. Okay, let's take an example here. Um, There's another. This is Google.com. They have their own developer, and there is a YouTube, right? There's a YouTube. They have their own developers. There's a Gmail, right? There's a Gmail email account, right? They have their own developers. Again, you have the shopping, they have their own developers. There's a lot of developers, okay? And each of the developer will create their own module, okay? Just like this, some URL, and they integrate to an application. So this is an application. Here, let's see here. Let's say I click on this Google Apps. See here. Once I click on this, you see drop down box shows up, right? So if you see here, there's lot of icons here, right? Integrated with the URL. So this means the particular module is integrated here. Okay. To test this is called integration testing.
You mean when you drop down that menu and uh, like all those functionalities that are inside within the drop down menu. So if you are testing that, that is what integral testing. That's what you mean?
So yeah, that's a very good question. So here what you do in integration testing is you not only test this application, but you also have to test this too. Let's say, I want to see here drive, right? So this button is it working or not? I want to see here. Not the complete functionality of this drive, but I want to see that is it moving to the next page? If it looks good, everything is good, that's good. Okay, you want to see both, even this, the original part of this application and the integrated app with that. Both has to work. So the main point here is in integration is when the developers integrate that code to this, they want to make sure that because of that integration, not something else is broken, right? It can happen, right? When you're integrating with something else, then there might be issue that code might be broke, right? It's not working, application might not work. So there's the thing here. Because of that integration, you want to make sure everything else is working fine. So that's just an example. Okay, any more questions? So let's go back to here. So let's try to see here. Testing of integrated modules to verify combined functionality. That means they have combined the functionality, right? After integration, it's working or not after integration. Okay, it's called integration testing.
Combine functionality after integration.
Any questions?
Um,
Okay, so if no questions, then just move. Okay, there's something called incremental integration testing. Okay, for this, incremental integration testing means it's keep on increasing. Okay, it's keep on incremental, right? The name itself says keep on increasing. Now let's say here 11 apps, right? There's 11 apps here. Now, what this dev guy said, no, they added more. Here's this option more. You click here. Okay, there's more over here. Now you got this scroll bar suddenly. Previously it was not there. The moment you click this, scroll bar shows up. Okay. Now you got more apps. Okay, this is incremental. That means now you have to do testing for this too. This is also integrated into it. Okay. Now even more, there's more. Okay, so there's a whole page for this, and they keep on adding new apps, and you keep on testing this. These whole modules integrated with it. Okay, see here. Just keep on adding new things and keep on testing it. So that's called incremental integration testing. Any questions?
so here it says this one is done by either testers or programmers. So both can do this.
Yeah, here, okay, so that depends on based on project. Most of time, yeah, can be done the testers. Most of time it will be testers. But again, it's based on the project, how the project is designed. So based on that, you have to do that. Any more questions? Okay, so let's move to the next one. Okay, then you have this system testing. Okay, what happens in the system that see so far what we are doing is web applications. So these are all web application. Why web application? Because anything which you use through browser is called web application. Okay, anything which you are using through browser, it can be Google Chrome, Firefox, Microsoft Edge, any other browser. Okay, whatever application you're using, that's called web application. Now there is something called client application. Client application is something which is installed in the system. Okay, which is installed in the system, and for example, Outlook, right? Outlook, you have to install in your system. Okay, that's called client applications. Okay, the people who have class, can leave. Okay, to finish this one, and you'll be getting recordings. If you're not getting recordings, send me an email. Okay, so we have to complete this one. Okay, so we'll complete this, and people who have no class, they can leave. Okay, any questions? So, I mean, I can continue this the next class, but we'll be lagging way more behind because we'll be taking more whole month for this. I mean, it's up to you. Like, if you want to go that pace, I'm fine with that. I'm fine, but there is another class which will be ETO. Will be right after 24th, 25th. Okay. Now you're not able to complete that, so it's up to you how you want to. So I can go. I mean, I'm fine with this. I can go this pace and we can continue this. No big deal. So if I'm not completing today, the problem is it will reach to 20, one more day, and that's fine. But you'll be missing ETL classes, then you have to adjust those classes too. So how do you want to do that's to you? Okay. So if no questions, let's move to the next one. So in the system testing, right, entire system is tested. Okay, entire system is tested, and that means whenever you install application, right? Whenever you install application in the system, it gets a lot of things happen. Okay, the DLL files get updated, and new files show up. A lot of things happen. So you have to test each on this with respect to requirements. Okay, whatever the requirement says, you have to test that. So that's called system testing. Any questions?